Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com the first week of December 2023. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any newspaper in America and beyond. Musician Scott Kempner died November 29, 2023 in Connecticut. He died of complications from dementia at the age of 69. He was a punk rock pioneer as the founding guitarist for the proto-punk band The Dictators. Kempner is also being remembered for forming the garage rock band The Del-Lords. Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day OConnor died December 1, 2023 in Phoenix. She died of complications from dementia at the age of 93. She was the first woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, appointed by President Ronald Reagan in 1981. O'Connor is being remembered as a trailblazer and role model who helped pave the way for women to ascend to higher office in the courts. Actress Andrea Fay Friedman died December 3, 2023 in Santa Monica, California. She died of complications from Alzheimer's disease at the age of 53. She became a pioneer for her fellow actors with Down syndrome when she starred on Life Goes On as Amanda, Corky's girlfriend and later wife. Friedman is also being remembered for her performances in TV shows like ER, Law and Order, and Family Guy. Photographer Elliott Erwitt died November 29, 2023 in New York City at the age of 95. He was known for his black and white photos of ordinary people in everyday yet captivating situations. He is also being remembered for his humorous photos of dogs, a favorite subject. Erwitt was a U.S. Army veteran who served during the 1950s, beginning his professional career while he served. A note to remember, sometimes personal information such as someone's cause of death is not announced immediately by the family or the authorities. When a cause of death has not been officially announced, we do not report on rumors. Every family has a right to their privacy. Author John Nichols died November 27, 2023 in Taos, New Mexico. He died after a long illness at the age of 83. He was best known for his novel, The Milagro Beanfield War, which he helped adapt into a movie directed by Robert Redford. Nichols is also being remembered for such novels as The Sterile Cuckoo and The Wizard of Loneliness. Radio host María Martin died December 2, 2023, after complications from a medical procedure at the age of 72. After a pioneering career as NPR's first Latin American affairs editor on the national news desk, she created the radio program Latino USA. Martin is being remembered for her work to broaden coverage of Latin American news and events in the United States. Musician Chad Allan died November 21, 2023 in Burnaby, British Columbia. He died of complications from an acute respiratory infection at the age of 80. He was the original lead singer for the Guess Who, singing on their early hit Shakin' All Over. Allan is also being remembered for his solo career as well as for co-founding Brave Belt, which later evolved into Bachman Turner Overdrive. Singer and songwriter Myles Goodwyn died December 3, 2023, near Halifax, Nova Scotia, at the age of 75. He was the founding lead vocalist for April Wine, the Canadian rock band known for singles like You Could Have Been a Lady and Just Between You and Me. Goodwin is being remembered for continuing to record and tour with April Wine for the rest of his life, as well as for his solo career. Filmmaker Charles Officer died December 1, 2023 in Toronto. He died after a long illness at the age of 48. He won a Canadian Screen Award for Best Original Screenplay for his 2020 feature film Akillah's Escape. Officer is also being remembered for such documentary films as Mighty Jerome and Unarmed Verses. Musician Denny Lane died December 5, 2023 in Naples, Florida. He died of interstitial lung disease at the age of 79. He was a core member of Wings, co-founding the band alongside Paul and Linda McCartney and writing songs, playing guitar, and contributing lead and backing vocals. Lane is also being remembered as a founding member of the Moody Blues. He sang lead on their first big hit, Go Now. Screenwriter and producer Norman Lear died December 5, 2023 in Los Angeles. He died of natural causes at the age of 101. He was a legend of TV sitcoms thanks to the many classic shows he created, All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Maude, The Jeffersons, and more. He is also being remembered for producing movies such as This Is Spinal Tap and The Princess Bride. Lear was a U.S. Army veteran who served in World War II as a radio operator and gunner. Actress Marisa Pavan died December 6, 2023 at her home in Saint-Tropez, France at the age of 91. She was Oscar-nominated for her performance in The Rose Tattoo, and her other films included The Man in the Gray Flannel Suit and Solomon and Sheba. Pavan is also being remembered as the twin sister of actress Pier Angeli. Makeup artist Ralph Cirella died December 5, 2023 after fighting lymphoma at the age of 58. He was Howard Stern's longtime friend and personal stylist, as well as a frequent caller and guest on The Howard Stern Show. Cirella is also being remembered for hosting Geek Time on SiriusXM. Writer and actor Benjamin Zephaniah died December 7, 2023 after being recently diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 65. He was a British dub poet and novelist known for his fiery statements against racism and injustice, as well as for his books of poetry for children. Zephaniah is also being remembered for his role on Peaky Blinders as Jamaican street preacher Jeremiah Jimmy Jesus. On December 5, 2023, 3 people were killed in a shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. As of this recording, the names of those who died have not yet been released to the public. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 10 years ago this week, world leader Nelson Mandela died at the age of 95. He was the first president of South Africa, elected after a lifetime of work to dismantle apartheid. 15 years ago this week, singer Odetta died at the age of 77. She was called the voice of the civil rights movement, known for her powerful performances on folk songs like Take This Hammer. 30 years ago this week, musician Frank Zappa died at the age of 52. He was a legend of experimental rock and a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer known for his advocacy for freedom of speech. 35 years ago this week, singer, songwriter, and guitarist Roy Orbison died at the age of 52. His impassioned vocals made enduring hits of songs like Only in Dreams and Oh Pretty Woman. 40 years ago this week, actor Slim Pickens died at the age of 64. He was known for memorable performances in such movies as Dr. Strangelove and Blazing Saddles. 43 years ago this week, singer, songwriter, and guitarist John Lennon was killed at the age of 40. As a founder of the Beatles and in his solo career, he was one of the most impactful musicians of the 20th century. Comedian and actor Sam Kinison was born 70 years ago this week. He died in April 1992 at the age of 38. He was known for his high-energy stand-up comedy and his appearances in movies like Back to School. Singer and songwriter Jim Morrison was born 80 years ago this week. He died in July 1971 at the age of 27. The charismatic frontman for The Doors, he is known for rock classics like Light My Fire and Break On Through to the Other Side. Actor Ted Knight was born 100 years ago this week. He died in August 1986 at the age of 62. He was a sitcom great of the 1970s and 80s in The Mary Tyler Moore Show and Too Close for Comfort, and he was a star of Caddyshack. Singer Maria Callas was born 100 years ago this week. She died in September 1977 at the age of 53. One of the all-time great operatic divas, she was known for signature performances in such operas as Norma and Tosca. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags across the United States have been lowered in honor of National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. Flags in Arizona, Georgia, and New Jersey have been lowered to honor the memory of Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day OConnor. Flags in Maryland have been lowered to honor the memory of former state senator and delegate Jenny M. Forehand. Flags in Nevada have been lowered to honor the memory of state troopers Sergeant Michael Abate and Trooper Alberto Felix, both of whom died in the line of duty. Flags in Wyoming have been lowered to honor the memory of Representative Leo Garcia. Flags in Colorado have been lowered to honor the memory of Cortez Police Sergeant Michael Moran, who died in the line of duty. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. You can also follow Legacy.com on Facebook and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.